Hey guys, it's JP Invests, and today we're going to be talking about Palantir. PLTR is the ticker, and they are an explosive AI company that is probably my biggest holding. No, it definitely is, and probably one of my favorite stocks to follow just because of the amount of news and the groundbreaking things that they're doing in the world. Looking at the portfolio, we're up 6% on the day, but let's just hop in straight into Palantir. Hopping in Palantir, we have 200 shares, which is up to $4,029. I am up $2,081. I'm up 106%. My average cost is $9.71. Excuse me, sorry. And this is 16% of my portfolio. I do have one call option I sold to sell my shares on December 8th for $23. I will probably just wait to see if the price dips down and just snag this back and just get a little bit of appreciation on that call option. But if it does ride up to that, currently I think that might be not a terrible place for me to trim out a little bit and then wait for it to pull back. Where it has been, it has pulled back into like the 15s where I could grab back my shares. But we'll just see how it all plays out, and I'll keep you guys updated. So looking at Palantir a little bit more, they are an AI development company, and they have a couple different softwares. So they have Gotham, which is for governments. They have Foundry, which was used for the distribution of vaccines in the UK. They have Apollo, which is like a continuous delivery system for Gotham and Foundry. And they also have AIP, which is going to be the big software that pushes them ahead and really makes them very, very profitable and able to hypergrow and get back up to that 30% growth rate that they've been talking about quarter and quarter. So looking at their earnings per share, now they have had 4 quarters of profitability, GAAP profitability. So that means that they now qualify to be added to the S&P 500, which could be a good catalyst when all the funds have to buy a little bit of Palantir, which is just going to be extra buying pressure to drive up that price. Looking at this, you can just see their nice growth over time from just breaking even or just breaking like 1 or 2 cents. Now they're up to 7 cents just in 3 or 4 quarters. This is just showing how AIP is slowly grabbing the market and getting ready to go. They are changing the model, and now they're doing boot camps. So they do a 2 to 3 day boot camp instead of having a multi-month like trial. So this should really push up the amount of customers in the next quarter or two. So we should see some really good growth. So looking at some other things, Dan Ives calls this company the Messi of AI. And he has a price analyst prediction for $25, which I kind of could see this going to $25. I know I do have that 23, but that's only a couple weeks out. I could see 25 next quarter, next earnings if they do really good, or next quarter after that. Just depends when some of these catalysts play out. Looking at some of the things that they have like government contracts for $250 million from the U.S. government. They have multiple contracts with the government. They also have contracts that are going to be coming up and they're about to get, or we really think that they're about to get because of some of the news leaks and stuff like that. So this contract is for the NHS, which is the UK's health system. And this contract's worth £480 million or $579 million. And this is a 5-year contract. So if they get this could be another catalyst to push that price up of the shares. Looking at their investor relations, if you guys wanted to, they do have AIP demonstrations for business and government and businesses. So those are the 2 main business branches, which government is a stickier business model, and that is a bit bigger currently, and business is they're starting to grow out, and that is where we could see some really, really good margins and profitability in the future once we get a bigger market share and some people actually using our product. So AIP is the software let me click here. It's just software that lets you use a large language model, which is just like ChatGPT. But you get to pick the underlying thing, the GPT or whatever large language model you would like to use. And then you get to use their interface, which is like super into it. And that's why you guys should hop on here and just check out those videos. And they'll show you how they just toss these things together really fast. And that's what those workshops do. And they show how you can really change and use your data to dynamically change your business model and save a ton of money, which these companies are realizing. It's cheaper just to pay Palantir $1 million, $2 million, and they'll save 5, 10, 15 with this software. Looking at that profitability, like I was saying, they're needing to get up to that 35% growth rate like they were. They're down at 16.8, but that's starting to improve again, and they're showing and talking about more growth with AIP, with those boot camps like I was talking about, which I think could be a real factor in the next quarter earnings when they show that this is really working and people need to start paying attention. They already have had these boot camps, or not boot camps, the AIP cons, and they've been showing companies like Cleveland Clinic and Jacobs and companies like that how big of a difference these things can really make. They also have a ton of cash on the books. They have $3.2 billion. And they also have $1 billion cleared for stock buybacks. These are all things that I think are just going to push up the price and help us get a little bit closer to that eventual price prediction, or not prediction, hope of $100 per share. That is my hope for 2030, 2035. Depending how long the company keeps growing with AIP, I'm hoping we could get there, and then I could just have a nice appreciation, long-term gain. I'm probably going to average up if they keep growing. I don't want to stop my portfolio here, but currently I think they might be at the higher end of the market cap that I'm willing to own, and then I'm thinking about selling half and then holding on to the other half, because I really do think it's going to keep appreciating. But it did really run up in these last 3 months, about 32.11%, which I think it's somewhat justified, but still at that 16.8% growth rate, that does make it a little bit harder to justify what is the market cap currently? It's 43, so it'd probably be up to like almost 50 billion by the time it gets up to that 23, 45. And they really haven't shown all the growth yet, but they're really setting up and teeing up for some really good growth. So if you really have a longer sights like 2030, then I wouldn't be too scared to hop in now, because I think it will appreciate over time. But if you want to try to make a short-term trade, I probably would wait until it pulls down into the 15s. But make sure to do your own research and follow. But I'll keep you guys updated on all the contracts like the NHS, which should be coming in about a week or two. But this has been JP Invest, and I hope you guys check out Palantir. It's a great company. I think they're going to have some great growth in the future. But also make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and make sure to comment down below. Thank you for watching. Have a great night.